And hopefully you've had a really good trading week. There was some amazing opportunities last week, and it looks like this week is also looking very, very amazing. It was very difficult for me to get just three um, top trades for the week, but nonetheless, it has been done. And just to think that we are already 6 months into the year in a week or so, and it's if you were to think back to January until now, how quick that time has passed, you'll realize that very, very soon we'll be in the year 2024. And it can be easy for you to look back and think, really, what is it I have achieved in the last 6 months? And if you don't have good profits, you might feel like you haven't achieved much. If you haven't achieved certain financial goals, you might feel like you haven't achieved much. And that goes to show that in the next 6 months, if you haven't achieved much, it's easy for you to be in the same position that you are in the next 6 months as well. That's one way of looking at it. The other way would be, how do I define success? Do I define success as in monetary growth alone and growth with regards to my profit loss in my trading account? Or are there other things that I can also latch on to that I have achieved this year? And that's where the daily goals comes in, whereby you can have other goals that are not uh, attached to how much money you've made or P&L, other goals that you've been ticking off on a daily basis, where you can look back and say, you know what, I have achieved a lot. I've read 2, 3 books. I've studied whatever I had to study. I've done these other goals that I achieved. And then you realize that, well, in the last 6 months, I was able to get to a good 70% of where I would have liked to become. And once you get into that state of mindset, it's called a positive mindset. And when you have a positive mindset, all things are possible, because now you go into the next 6 months with energy of knowing and being confident in your abilities to reach your goals. And that confidence translates to other goals as well as monetary goals in your future. But if you go in despondent and thinking, I haven't done much, then the next 6 months it will be much more difficult for you to get up in the morning and do the things that you need to do. And then secondly, another thing would be the student mindset. And I was talking to Theo, part of the Falcon community, and we are chatting a little about the student mindset. And some of my epiphanies here with this coming into my mind is, do you have a student mindset? Or do you have a different kind of mindset? Do you have a leadership mindset, a coach mindset, a mentor mindset yourself? And this is very important, because if you are in the student mindset, it will take you longer to reach your goals that you're trying to reach, because you'll have to depend on someone, your teacher, if you feel like you're a student, for you to get there. But if you see yourself as a leader, it will take you a shorter amount of time, because you take initiative and you have a little more trust in yourself. And an example of this would be when people become parents, they mature much quicker than they would have had they not become parents. In most cases, you see somebody becoming a bit more mature, a bit more responsible. Some people start to get work and jobs because now they're focusing more on, I need to be able, they've got a big why now because they have to feed, a child. So they've got a big why, and that pushes them harder and harder and harder. So ask yourself, which type of mindset do you have? And it's okay to be a student, at least for 6 months. But once you've hit the 6 month time frame, there are people who are in a 1 month time frame, and you know a whole lot more than they do. Are you able to almost reach your hand down and pull them up, and becoming more yourself, seeing yourself not as a student? Then you'll develop more and you'll retain more when you learn, because now you're not learning just for yourself, you're learning for the people that you're mentoring, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, this is my pairs for the week that is to come. I really love how GBP USD is looking. We now have this excellent hook point. These are the types of hook points that I prefer to take, where prices come down and created a nice visible little scoop. And as you can see, if price were to come to this area here, I'd be happy to take a push in the flag that is a go-to setup for me. But of course, we might get a different type of price action, um, which would be a little more perfect. But this is why I don't forecast this 3 touch. I'll show you exactly why I don't forecast this 3 touch as yet. Number one is it's a little bit of perfection of which we may or may not get, but a lot of the times it may not even be relevant for this week. We've got 30th of May, maybe not, maybe it might be a little later, 31st or so on, which is not even this week. This is that other week that is to come. So that is why I don't forecast that for this week, but we'll see what price gives us and how it looks there. Another one that I am looking at, again, GBP USD as well as Euro AUD. They were in the top 3 last week, I believe, and have made it in for this week as well. I mean, if you can look at this is a bit of perfection, so what I'd be looking for is our 3rd touch. As you can see, it's probably on Wednesday, the 24th of May. And question is, would I be looking for, on this 3rd touch, would I be looking for a risk entry, or would I be looking for more of a push and a flag? Well, it depends on how we get there. It's as simple as that. If we just shoot up, definitely I'd be looking for some kind of continuation that we may or may not get in these areas. But if price decides to take its time a little bit and give us some kind of an ending structure, the ending structure is the clue that, well, as within the name, it's ending. The trend is ending and could turn around. Then I'd be looking for a position there, and I will only take a position there on the 1 hour time frame with this type of position. Depending on how big this is, if this is a little larger, then that might warrant a 15-minute, but with this kind of size, I'll probably look for the 1 hour. And the final one that I have here is GBP JPY. Definitely this is one that is in for the week, and price has scooped up to this double top type of area. I know that we have these levels also, and we've got a beautiful 4-hourly close after a little bit of structure here, and then more structure here in the form of an extension of this 1 2 3 type with 2 bottoms expanding, which really plays out quite nicely. So I'd be looking for a 3 touch on the 15-minute over here, or 2 bottoms, and I will then take that to wherever price may take us, trail that with a stop. But many of the times we do play out until these areas. You're actually on the 4-hour here. So yeah, a lot of the times we do get to the bottom of these expandings if you backtest that. So yes, that is what I'm looking for this week. I'm hoping that you'll have a really good week ahead, and I will catch you again next week. Bye.